All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome to the mail stand. I forgot my glasses, the glasses that reflect the screen. I've just been upstairs and had a nose wag, and I've come back downstairs and forgot my glasses. Well, I'm not going back for them, I can't be arsed. So anyway, the mail stand. If you have seen the mail stand before, you do not need to watch this introduction. Look for the pinned comment under this video and click on the timestamp to skip it. Excuse me. If you have not seen the mail stand before, please watch this intro just the once. Basically, the mail stand is a feature where I read emails to you that I've received, right, behind the scenes. Now, those emails could be from people I've known for almost 30 years of doing Cop Talk and I really trust, or they could be from complete, strangers that I've never spoken to before in my life. Because of that, you've got to take this feature with a huge, pinch of salt. It's more just for to show you the sort of things I receive, and that you can, listen to them and like I do and think, do I believe that or not, right? Now, I could be reading an email to you thinking, more a load of shite, who in the right mind would believe this? Or I could be thinking, if only they knew who this person was, right? That's it. It's a bit of fun. It's all real. It's genuine. I've got the email that I'm going to read to you now here. I don't change the emails that I receive. I don't improve the English if there's, mistakes or anything. I like you to see them exactly as they come across. The only time, sometimes you'll see me hesitate, maybe when I'm reading an email from my device, is if there's a name in there, which I don't want to read to you. Okay, so this one, the subject title, if you like, is Wharton. That's all it says. And it says, it was received 2 days ago, which was the 3rd of January 2026 at 2:32 local time here in Spain. So obviously 1:30 in the afternoon on the 3rd of January in the UK time zone. So it says as follows, and I'm quite happy to show you this one, I think, because I don't think there's any names here. So this is exactly what it looks like if you want to still pause or anything. And the reason I can show that one to you is obviously the email, the sender's name is not displayed, and neither is, the signature at the bottom. So this is what it says, guys. This is the current thinking on Wharton inside the club, according to my mate, which he has spoken to an agent involved. Liverpool are very interested. However, there are a lot of things in play. Palace are concerned about Gay leaving in January. And then in brackets it says, however, LFC still think Gay will be on a free at the end of the season. Palace are very concerned at losing 2 of their stars and the uncertainty with Glasner and his contract also being up at the end of the season, that it could cause a huge implosion. If Liverpool are given any indication that Wharton would, it doesn't say would, it says could come to us, they will for sure, Rafa. I'm sorry. When I see for sure, I just think of Rafa, for sure. They will for sure go for him, but try for a player plus cash. I'm sorry, I've butchered it. If Liverpool are given any indication that Wharton could come to us, they will for sure go for him, but try for a player plus cash. Maybe it's Rafa emailing me. However, right now, there have been no talks or even an ask from us concerning Wharton, but this might change. Concerning players, Chiesa is linked with Juve plus others in Italy, and as it stands, Chiesa does not want to leave, even though he knows Slot is not a big fan of his. Now, here is the nitty-gritty of why he doesn't want to leave. He thinks that if another manager comes in, he has the ability, and in brackets it says, which I personally agree with, to be more than a sub and play a far more of a leading role. And that concludes that email. Now, with regards Gay, I do think Liverpool will make an attempt to sign him in January. Or certainly, inquire. I just think that they have to. I know the credible journalists, Paul Joyce especially, have said, nah, won't be doing that, they won't be doing that. But I just feel you have to. I think you just have to try your luck a little bit. Might not get anywhere with it. I know there's Various claims today about Manchester City and Gay, but that doesn't concern me at the moment. But I do think Liverpool will. I just think they have to make an inquiry to see if they can make it happen. Because of uncertainty surrounding Slot, some people might think, will Liverpool do anything in January? Because what if they get rid of him? I think Mark Gay, if he was brought in, would be able to play under any manager, I think. So I don't think that was too much of a concern there, or a reason not to pursue. Or maybe not a reason not to pursue, but maybe the owners, right? The ownership might go, hang on a minute, if we might be changing the manager, the head coach, maybe we should just hold fire on recruitment. It would make sense, but I just think that Liverpool need to be as strong as possible between now and the end of the season. With other clubs sacking the managers and stuff, they're going to get, if they recruit soon, they're going to get maybe an injection of positivity, and their results around us might improve, right? So Liverpool, I think Slot's toast, me. Well, there you go. That's the email, guys. I can't add any more to it. No point waffling on any more. There is 2 emails from the same author after that, which in huge capital letters says one of them was sent 2 days ago, 3rd of January, 2026 at 14:39. So I think that's just after the other one. And it just says, for you only. And another one from the same author that came in today at 12:34 local time, the 5th of January, again, for you only, which is a follow-up to the other one. Now, therefore, I can't read those emails to you, all right? But what I'm going to say, which I think is safe to say, and I don't think the author will be angry with me, and I do hope not, I do, use a bit of common sense, is that tomorrow, that the next 24 hours could be pretty significant internally at the club. All right? And the next 24 hours could be significant internally. If anything does come out significant or anything, I will confirm if that's what I was referring to or not. I know it's not very helpful, but I've got to respect the wishes of people. There is a suggestion that a credible journalist, if you watch my videos, you know who I deem as credible, is aware of something but isn't at the moment reporting it. That doesn't mean something has happened, right? Because that might have sounded like that. But I don't think it will come as a surprise to most people that know how these things work, that journalists don't publish everything that they're told, especially if they've got a close working relationship with someone. So, for example, right, with the local club that I'm involved with here in Spain, I've got friends and contacts that work for that club, that run that club, etc., etc. All right, and I'm a supporters liaison officer for that club. Therefore, I speak to the club on a regular basis, and I also have a Facebook page, an X account, an Instagram account, a YouTube account. Excuse me, under the name CF for club football, right? FC, which is the way they do it here. CF Benidorm, CF Benidorm, right? If you look on any of them platforms, you'll find it. And before I was a supporters liaison officer, and also still ongoing, I provide snippets of news to the fans, whether I interview the manager of the team that I follow, CF Benidorm, or whether I interviewed the manager of the opposition, which I often do in the run-up to a game. And I publish news, interviews, things like that, fixture changes, just trying to help the fans, which is exactly how Cop Talk started back in the 1990s. Yes, all right? Because back in the 1990s, it's hard to believe, but all this social media, YouTube, Google, Facebook, Twitter, everything didn't exist then. right? So Cop Talk was like one of the first. And I got great satisfaction from updating Liverpool fans all over the world, and boom, it exploded, right? So the local team I have is not a Premier League team, obviously, at the moment. Might be a La Liga team one day. But I speak to people at the club, and they tell me things all the time, right? And they'll say to me, blah, 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 but you can't publish that, right? So sometimes a journalist, I don't consider myself a journalist, but sometimes people know more than they can say, right? Whether it's a lower league club or a top flight club, it's the same thing, right? So if you're given trust, you can't break that trust, right? You do it once and you'll never get anything again. And then you also lose friends as well. I've had that over the years with Cop Talk, where people will tell you something and they'll say, but you can't say anything, Dunk. And it's the worst part for me because it obviously makes you, look fucking great if you can turn and say, hey, this is going to happen, or that's, I'm hearing this. So what I do is you've got to use your noddle a little bit. And if you, like, for example, if you're on the members website, you do not need to be on the members website. But over the years, I might change my avatar, your profile picture to a particular, country's nation flag or something. So if it was something to do with someone in the Netherlands, you can't say anything. I might change me, I would allude and stuff like that. So often I will say to people, oh, it's just my opinion, I think this or I think that. But I can't add that bit where I say, guess who fucking told me? Do you know what I mean? So the point I'm making here is in those emails there, the two emails that have been where it says for you only, I have to respect that. But it's kind of like suggesting that there's something internal, in the next, like today, tomorrow kind of thing, maybe conversations or discussions or whatever, and that possibly maybe a credible journalist is aware of that but hasn't actually wrote an article about it as yet, and they may never, because nothing might happen, right? People talk and discuss things all the time, right? I know I'm not being very helpful, but it's very difficult for me to try and navigate around it a little bit. I'm not holding anything back from you, or trying to make out that I know something that's happening or has happened or anything significant. But if you read between the lines a little bit, I don't think it takes much to work out the current situation of the club. If, let's just argue, like for an example, if there was a conversation happening today or tomorrow, what would they be talking about within the club at the moment? Most of it's down to common sense, right? So if you're a Liverpool supporter, right? Hopefully, I do have supporters of other clubs watching as well, but whichever club you support, you can put yourself in the position of someone that runs the club and use common sense as to what kind of conversations would be happening during a particular, run of bad results or something. Then this is what these lot do. The ITKs, the so-called ITKs, the Twitter twats. 9 times out of 10, it's just common sense, right? So you don't need to be a fucking club insider to work out that if your manager's not doing too good, that you're going to be having conversations with people saying, you know what I mean? Anyway, I hope I haven't said anything that I shouldn't have said. I don't think I have, because I've not been specific about anything. But I'll leave that with you. Okay, guys, so as for Chiesa, I love Chiesa. We've gone over many times before in the past as to some issues he may have had, or that were rumoured or alleged, as to why he wasn't figuring as much as many people would like, which was more to do with condition rather than being injured, which I think can be slightly different things. But I just, I don't know. I think there's times when Chiesa's been perfectly fine to play and he hasn't. We know there's interest in him from Italy. I believe Fabrizio Romano, Mo Salah, rent a tweet, him has said something today about that. With Chiesa, you should listen to Fabrizio Romano, because he's like that with the representation. And if you remember when we signed Chiesa, Romano was he was very good with that. So, and with rent a tweet, you've got to always ask yourself: is this genuine inside information that he's passing on, or is he trying to help someone? Do you know what I mean? So, but with Chiesa, I would pay attention to Fabrizio Romano. All right, guys. And Slot, I'm sure I've mentioned it in this video. I don't think he will remain at Liverpool Football Club. I've been saying that for a long time. Even when we had some more positive results recently, I didn't flip-flop. I've always believed that his position is not secure. And I'd be extremely surprised if he was the manager next year. I think that, or should I say next season, I think that, it's a results industry, obviously. You win the European Cup, then, you're not going to get the bullet, are you? But do you really think that's going to happen? Are we going to win the league? Top 4 is all we can play for at the minute, and that's it. Listen, no, we can play for a lot of things. Don't caps lock me to death. What I mean is, in my mind, I was looking at the league today, and I thought, right, we've fucking got to get that top 4 at the bare minimum, really. I just think he's out of his depth. I just don't think it's working. I think we've got the players, we've got quality, as Rafa Benitez would say, quality, for sure. But I don't think they're playing. I don't think they're responding to him. I think we need a change of manager. But there you go. That's me throwing opinion in. That's the email. That's all I've got for you on that. We'll probably take a look at what Fab's had to say actually about Chiesa next. Okay, guys. Don't forget, I'm hosting a live stream on here this evening. If you see this video at 8 o'clock UK time this evening for 1 hour, strictly 1 hour, because I've got things to do. All right, guys. If you enjoyed the video, you found it interesting or whatever, thumbs up. Please drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. There's love out under the video if you want to support my channel. And there's also links in the video description that enable you to support the channel in other ways, such as Revolut, which is my beer kitty for a Saturday. Saturday seems a long way off at the moment, though. So we've got the full week to work through at the moment. All right, guys, I'll leave it with you. Please give me your thoughts on the email. Wharton, I like him, but I see a lot of stuff out there about Wharton at the moment. So I'm not sure where I stand on whether we're trying to, well, I don't think we are trying to sign him. I'm just not sure whether we will do anything on that front, attempt to do it. But there you go. I feel like I'm waffling. All right, guys. I'll speak to you in a bit. Cheers.